Hello students. So we are continuing with our chapter of digestion and absorption, and the topic which we are going to do today is histology of wall of alimentary canal. I hope you all are having a nice day and you're staying at home, staying safe and studying, following my videos and studying. So let us start the histology of wall of alimentary canal. So generally, if we see, the wall of alimentary canal is a four layered arrangement of tissues, right? So let us see what are those four layers. If we see these four layers, these are what? These are, first is serosa, and we are going how? We are going towards the lumen, okay? Serosa, muscularis, submucosa, and mucosa. These are the four basic layers of the alimentary canal. Sometimes these walls have a different part, but this is the general structure that we are going to study. So if we just draw a cross section of alimentary canal and try to draw all these four four layered arrangement of tissues, what will it be like? Okay, so if we draw a cross section, it will be circular. So what does it become? It becomes serosa, the outermost layer, right? Then we said there is muscularis. So generally there is outer longitudinal and inner circular. So if we draw this, right? So there will be outer longitudinal and inner circular. So if we see this, this is the inner circular portion, right? And this is the outer longitudinal muscles. Okay, so I'm drawing it like this. So what is this? This is the longitudinal part, and this is the circular part. Okay, and this is making what? This is making the muscularis. So we are just drawing a basic structure to first understand how they are arranged. Then after serosa and muscularis, there is submucosa. Okay, there is this submucosa. First, we will understand how they are arranged, and then we'll study about each of the layer in detail. Okay, so this is submucosa, and then what is there? Then I told you that we are going from outside to inside. This is the lumen. This is what? This is the lumen. So what is there now? If this is serosa, muscularis, submucosa, and mucosa. Okay, then this becomes the mucosa layer. Right? Understood? Serosa, muscularis, submucosa, mucosa, and then there is this lumen. Okay, so these are what? These are the layers of alimentary canal. You draw it in your notebook. In whatever you are taking notes, draw it. Okay. Now let us first start with serosa. Let us first start with serosa or serosa, or we can also call it visceral peritoneum. Let's start with serosa. So what is serosa? First of all, it is the outermost layer. First, it is the, as we saw, it is the outermost layer, and it is composed of what? It is composed of we saw that it was just a single layer. It was composed of simple squamous epithelium. It is composed of simple squamous epithelium. And then what? Then there is it is actually a covering over areolar connective tissue. So we can say that if this is serosa, then there is this areolar connective tissue. So this is serosa and this is this areolar connective tissue. Okay. So it covers what? It covers areolar connective tissue. And you know why we call it areolar connective tissue? Because it appears like having air. Okay. And what is it secreting? It secretes what? It secretes a slippery watery fluid. And what is this slippery watery fluid helping in? It is allowing the alimentary canal. It allows what? It allows the alimentary canal to do what? To glide against the organs. Okay. So let us revise the points of serosa. It is the outermost layer. It is composed of simple squamous epithelium. It covers areolar connective tissue. It secretes what? It secretes a slippery watery fluid. What is this watery fluid helping in? It is allowing the alimentary canal to glide against the organs. Okay. So sometimes this serosa is also called as visceral peritoneum. Visceral peritoneum. The serosa is also called. Okay. Now let us come to the second part, which is what? Which is the muscularis. The second layer we draw, muscularis. When we see muscularis, what can we infer from this word only if we don't know? Muscularis, something related to muscle. So as the name implies, it is a thick layer of muscle. Okay. And then we'll study about these myenteric plexus in muscularis. Okay. So first, before going to that myenteric plexus, let us see few things. Sometimes, like in mouth, pharynx and upper esophagus, I told you how much part of the esophagus is made up of skeletal muscle? 1/3, upper 1/3. So mouth, pharynx, upper esophagus, external anal sphincter. It is composed of what? These all things are composed of skeletal muscle. Easy to understand. External anal sphincter. Why? So as to voluntary. So as to allow what? So as to allow voluntary control of defecation, right? Voluntary control of defecation. Mouth, pharynx, esophagus. Okay. It consists of skeletal muscle and it is allowing what? This is allowing what? This is allowing voluntary swallowing, right? Now, what we have to see? What else we have to see in this? We have to, I told you, we have to study about myenteric plexus. Okay. So what is this myenteric plexus? I always tend to write the wrong spelling of myenteric plexus, also known as Auerbach plexus, right? So the thing that you need to remember about is that this myenteric plexus, it regulates peristalsis. Okay, you need to remember this point. It is important. The myenteric plexus is regulating what? It is regulating peristalsis, right? So just read about muscularis. Okay, so it is a thick layer of muscle in mouth, pharynx, upper esophagus to control, to allow voluntary swallowing. It is what? It is composed of skeletal muscle, and in external anal sphincter, it is also made of skeletal muscle so as to allow voluntary control of defecation. And what about the rest of the part? And in rest of the part, it is made up of what? As we drew, outer longitudinal and inner circular muscle sheath, inner circular layer of muscles. Okay, remember we drew a cross section where we draw this outer longitudinal and inner circular layer of muscle. Okay, now let us come to the next submucosa. Come to the submucosa. Okay, so submucosa is what? It consists of what? It consists of areolar connective tissue. And what is the purpose of this submucosa? It is binding what? It is binding the innermost mucosa to the muscularis. Okay, it is binding mucosa to muscularis. And it also contains what? It contains glands, lymphatic tissue. When we'll see the diagram, it will be very clear. Lymphatic tissue, blood vessels, and many lymphatic vessels. Okay, many lymphatic vessels. So it contains all these things. I'll add a page, right? And what else can we study about submucosa? Remember, in muscularis, there was a meandric plexus. In submucosa, there is a Meissner plexus. It is an important thing to remember. Meissner's plexus, because generally questions are not asked on general things. They are asked on some kind of exceptions or some different things, right? So what do you need to remember about Meissner plexus? That it controls the secretions. It controls the secretions of the organs of the alimentary canal. Okay, so meandric plexus was doing what? It was controlling peristalsis, and Meissner plexus is controlling the secretions of the organs of alimentary canal. This is a important thing that you have to remember. Okay, so after submucosa, let us go to what? Let us go to mucosa. Okay, so mucosa is formed of 3 layers. Okay, mucosa is first of all what? It is the inner lining, as you saw, just serosa, then there was muscularis, submucosa, and mucosa, which is near to the lumen. So it is composed of 3 parts. So what are the 3 parts? The first part is the epithelium layer. Epithelium layer. Okay. The second part is the lamina propria. Lamina propria. And the third part is the muscularis mucosa. Muscularis mucosa. Okay. So the epithelium layer is doing what? It is forming gastric glands in stomach. Gastric glands in stomach and intestinal glands and villi, where in small intestine, right? In small intestine. What is lamina propria doing? It is a layer of what? It is a layer of areolar connective tissue. It is a layer of areolar connective tissue which contains blood vessels, lymphatic vessels, and all. And muscularis mucosa, this is what? This is a layer, thin layer of smooth muscle. Okay, this is a thin layer of smooth muscle, in the same manner, the muscles are arranged similarly, like outer longitudinal and inner circular. Outer longitudinal and inner circular muscles, right? So this is the histology of alimentary canal, in which we just studied a very basic structure, where we said, let us see what we studied. We studied about serosa, muscularis, submucosa, and mucosa. Then we saw a cross section of the alimentary canal. Then we drew this diagram where we showed what? We showed serosa, okay? We showed muscularis, submucosa, and mucosa with the lumen in between. These are what? These are the layers of alimentary canal. Then we studied each layer in detail without studying the specialized structures, where there is some organs they have specialized for the purpose of their function. They have specialized. So we studied the general structure. What was the general structure? The general structure was that there is this serosa, which is the outermost layer. It is composed of simple squamous epithelium. It covers this areolar connective tissue. It secretes what? A slippery watery fluid, and that fluid is allowing the alimentary canal to glide against the organ. Very simple. It is also called visceral peritoneum. Then we came to muscularis. It is a thick layer of muscle. And since it is a thick layer of muscle, somewhere it is composed of skeletal muscle and somewhere it is composed of smooth muscle. So if we need a voluntary control, so it will be skeletal muscle. And what are those places? Those places are mouth, pharynx, upper esophagus, right? Remember, I had drawn this diagram where I told you first 1/3 is skeletal, next 1/3 is skeletal plus smooth, and the last 1/3 of esophagus is only smooth, okay? And then we studied of myenteric plexus, where I said the important thing to remember is it regulates peristalsis. And in the rest of the part, in the rest of the muscularis, there is an outer longitudinal and inner circular layer of muscle, right? Easy to understand. Then we came to submucosa. Submucosa consists of what? It consists of areolar connective tissue binding the mucosa to the muscularis, and it consists of glands, lymphatic tissue, blood vessels, lymphatic vessels. And it has Meissner's plexus. What is this Meissner's plexus doing? It is controlling the secretions of the organs of alimentary canal, right? Then we did the innermost layer. That was what? That was mucosa. It is the innermost layer and it has three parts. What are the three parts? The first part is epithelium layer, which is what? Which in stomach and in intestine, it is a little modified. In stomach, the gastric glands are getting formed from this layer, right? So if this is the epithelium layer that I am talking about, that is a single layered, right? So what is happening? What is happening? It gone whole. So if this is the epithelium layer that I am talking about, so what is happening? These are the glands, okay? Right? These are the glands that I am talking about. Okay? So this is the glands that I am talking about. And how are these glands forming? These are the ducts of the glands. Okay? And this is what? This is the epithelium layer that is getting modified for the formation of glands. Okay? And these are the glands in submucosa. And what is submucosa? Submucosa is an areolar connective tissue, right? That is binding mucosa and muscularis. So we were doing epithelium layer, then came the lamina propria. Okay. So if here only we see, this is the epithelium layer. Outside it, there will be what? There will be a lamina propria layer. So let us make this. Suppose this is that layer. Okay, this is what? This is what? This is lamina propria. Okay, and what is all containing? It is a areolar connective tissue, and I told you it has some what? It has blood vessels and lymphatic tissues, and some glands may be there, right? So this is lamina propria, and this is what? This is the lumen. Okay, and then outside is what? Then outside is the muscularis mucosa, right? The third layer is what? Muscularis mucosa. So we can just draw this layer then. Okay, so this is what? This is what? This is the muscular layer that I am drawing. So 3 layers of what? 3 layers in mucosa, right? And okay, the first one is what? This epithelium layer, right? These, which is getting formed into glands. These are the ducts of glands. Then lamina propria. What have I drawn these? These are suppose lymphatic tissues that I have drawn that are present in the lamina propria. Okay, and suppose there are some glands here also present at times. Okay, okay, so these are some glands in, you know, lamina propria even. So this is how, this is the basic structure of alimentary canal. Oh. We have done all these things, that's why I'm going up. So let us, where is this diagram? I had to show you a diagram. Yeah, this is the diagram that I wanted to show you. So as we said, that first layer is serosa. So let us see serosa first. Then I said that there is muscularis, right? Outer longitudinal and inner circular muscles. So let us see serosa. I said that there is an areolar connective. This epithelium is doing what? It is covering areolar connective tissue. So is it doing so? Yes, it is doing so. Then there is this muscularis. We can see that there is an outer longitudinal and inner circular layer of muscles. See, inner circular layer of muscles, outer longitudinal layer of muscles, right? And then we said what? We said that there is a myenteric plexus. Have they shown this? So they have shown this Meissner's plexus, but I think they have not shown this myenteric. Okay, leave it. Then we said there is some mucosa, right? Let us see some mucosa. Some mucosa is what? It is a areolar connective tissue, right? Remember? And then what we studied? We studied what? We studied mucosa, which is composed of 3 layers: epithelium, lamina propria, and muscularis mucosa. So these are the glands that we were talking about. These were the ducts of the gland, lymphatic tissue, and lumen, right? And this is the Meissner plexus. What is the Meissner plexus doing? It is controlling the secretions. So what is it doing? It is controls the secretions of organs, right? These diagrams should be crystal clear in your mind. Oh, this is the myenteric plexus that I was saying. Myenteric plexus does what? It is, this is the myenteric plexus. It is doing what? It is controlling peristalsis. Okay. This diagram should be crystal clear in your mind, or else you won't be able to understand digestion and absorption. This is my promise. Okay. Now, this is a cross section that we draw: inner circular, outer longitudinal, serosa, muscularis, submucosa, mucosa, and lumen. Okay, and so now let us see some special features that I was always saying, that we are doing a generalized structure. We also have to do a specialized, somewhere they are specialized. So we'll do these specialized things where? We'll do this in esophagus, stomach, and intestine. Okay, so the wall of esophagus consists of 4 layers as the rest of the alimentary canal. So what is adventitia? This is the superficial layer of esophagus. This is the superficial layer of esophagus. And muscularis is what? It is made up of smooth muscles. Okay, and there are 2 sphincters. What are these 2 sphincters? There, one is the upper esophageal sphincter and one is the lower esophageal sphincter, or the cardiac sphincter. Like these sphincters are like what? These are like valves. So if this is the esophagus, this is the upper esophageal sphincter, and the lower where the stomach is getting started. Okay, so and submucosa consists of areolar connective tissue. I'm just telling you about esophagus. It's like a muscular tube, nothing much to know, but yes, it's a very important tube. Mucosa, it consists of non-keratinized stratified squamous epithelium. Okay, chalo. Now let us come to stomach. In the stomach, there are a few things to remember. What is this? Rugs. When stomach is empty, then what happens? Then mucosa lies in large folds, and these large folds are known as rugs. So what lies in large folds? The mucosa. Okay, so if this is the stomach, so this mucosa lies in large folds. Okay, mucosa lies in large folds. Now what are these surface mucus cells that I have written? These are what? These are the surface of mucosa. The surface of mucosa The surface of what? The surface of mucosa has a layer of what? Has a layer of non-ciliated, simple columnar epithelium. Okay, and these are what? These are surface mucus cells. Now we'll study about gastric pits or gastric glands. Gastric pits or gastric glands. So as we studied, know that the epithelial cells of what? Of mucosa. Epithelial cells of mucosa, they become what? They become like if this is the epithelium, so these are the glands and these are the ducts. So the epithelial cells, they extend downwards and they form what? They form what we can say columns of secretory cells. And these are what? These are gastric glands. Okay, and these the secretions of these gastric glands flow into the gastric pits and then into the lumen of the stomach. Okay, and then in the small intestine also there are few things to remember. So what is the few things to remember in small intestine? It is made up of same 4 basic layers, right? That make up most of the alimentary canal. What are those few that layers? Mucosa, submucosa, muscularis, and serosa, as we have discussed above. Now, if this is the, if you know this, right? So what happens that these are the villi, you know this, what happens, this the mucosa is folded, and this is the folds of the mucosa that I have drawn, and these contain few cells that are known as crypts of Leiber-Cohen. And they are present where? They are present in their deep-seated. They are deep-seated. And where they are present? They are present in the mucosa. And it is secreting what? It is secreting many kind of enzymes, which we'll study when we are doing digestion. And there are also few glands which are known as, this is a submucosa, you know this? This is what? This is submucosa. So here there are few glands like this. These are called what? These are called Brunner's glands. Brunner's glands. And Brunner's glands are present where? Brunner's gland are present in submucosa, mainly in submucosa. And their secretion is alkaline. Their secretion is alkaline. And why is it alkaline? So that it neutralizes the acid coming from stomach. So which part is attached? Which part is attached to the stomach? So it is mainly present is duodenum. It is mainly present in duodenum. So it is secreting what? Let us again see the crypts of Leiber-Cohen. They are deep seated and they are present all over. They are present all over. And in the small intestine. Okay, we are talking about small intestine, and it is secreting, it is present in mucosa, and it is secreting enzymes and mucus. And what about Brunner's gland? It is not present everywhere. It is present in submucosa, and it is alkaline. It neutralizes the acid that is coming from the stomach. Okay, so, and the secretions from both, the secretions from these crypts of Leiber-Cohen plus Brunner's gland, they are collectively called as what? They are collectively called as succus entericus or intestinal juice. This composition we will do in detail when we are doing digestion in small intestine. But as for now, you can remember these secretions are known as crypts of Leiber-Cohen. Secretions from both these two things are known as succus entericus or intestinal juice. So now let us see what all cells are present in these crypts. So there are goblet cells, right? There are what? There are goblet cells. What will the goblet cells do? They will secrete what? They will secrete mucus. Then there are Paneth cells, which are secreting enzymes. Then there are few endocrine cells, which are secreting some local hormones. Then there are some argentaphin cells. This is secreting serotonin, which is a vasoconstrictor, and there are some basal cells. So now let us see what all these cells are doing. Goblet cells are secreting mucus. Paneth cells are secreting enzymes. Endocrine cells are secreting some local hormones. And these argentaphin cells are secreting a vasoconstrictor. The name of that vasoconstrictor is The name of that vasoconstrictor is serotonin. And the basal cells are what? These are reserve cells, or you can say these are stem cells that are helping in if there is they secrete some other cells if they are injured, or they are damaged, so they give rise to some other cells. Okay, so please see this. And now we'll see one more thing in intestine, that is known as Peyer's patches. What is Peyer's patches? So Peyer's patches is what? Peyer's patches is these are lymphoid nodules which are present in submucosa of what? Of ileum. Okay, and they help in what? They help in specialization of B lymphocytes. Please note it down in your notebook. B lymphocytes, and since they are lymphatic nodules, we have already done about pharyngeal tonsils. They are also called intestinal tonsils. They are also called intestinal tonsils. Okay, so when we are doing intestinal glands, we'll do all these Paneth cells and all in details, right? So what is Peyer's patches? Now you understood. Peyer's patches are lymphatic nodules that are present in some mucosa of ileum. So now if a question comes to you, that suppose a question comes and it asks, Peyer's patches secrete. Very easy question. Now the options that they will give is trypsin, lymphocytes, mucus, or the fourth option can be lysozyme, right? So we know that Peyer's patches are what? Peyer's patches are lymphoid tissues which are helping in what? Immune response. Which are helping in what? Immune response. So trypsin is what? No, trypsin is what? Trypsin is helping in protein digestion. It is not true, right? Mucus, no. What is lysozyme? Lysozyme is it is secreted by Paneth cells. It is secreted by Paneth cells, and it is a bactericidal enzyme. When we'll do intestinal gland, we'll again do this. Okay, and they are also capable of, these Paneth cells are also capable of phagocytosis. Just I thought I'll tell you if you are doing, if I just wrote it, right? So this lysozyme is what? This is a bactericidal enzyme. So this is also not possible. As soon as you know that Peyer's patches is a lymphoid tissue and you see lymphocytes, yes, this is the correct option. So this is what is all about histology of wall of alimentary canal. And from the next class, I will start the digestive glands. And in the digestive glands, the first will be salivary gland, right? Salivary glands, then gastric glands, and then there will be intestinal glands, and then there will be liver and gallbladder and pancreas. So these are the things which we are going to do in the coming gallbladder and in the coming lectures. So guys, please study hard. It is important. You have a dream. Please fulfill that dream of becoming a doctor and helping people. And I like teaching you all. I like zoology as a subject. It is very interesting, and especially human physiology is very interesting. So as promised, I will be taking a marathon class of respiration. I hope you guys have studied that, learned, forgotten, right? So now when I'll take again the marathon class, you will again revise all the concepts of respiration. And once we are done with digestion, and again, then I'll take a marathon class of digestion. Okay, guys, please continue doing the questions and don't take tension. Okay, bye bye.